Hello students, in this lectures we are going to discuss about the different transmission media used in digital communication or in the data communication. The objective of today's lecture is to study different types of transmission media and their functions. So let's begin with the topic. What is a transmission medium? In data communication, transmission media is a pathway that carries the information from sender to the receiver. When we use different types of cables or the wires to transfer the data. Data is transmitted normally through the electrical or electromagnetic signals. Transmission medias are located below the physical layer of the OSI model. Signals are transmitted in form of electromagnetic energy. So here a representation is given to us. Here is your physical layer, that is a lower layer of the OSI model that we are going to discuss in the next lectures. So first is your sender, second one is your receiver. So from the physical layer, the data is transferred over the media to the receiver. So this is a representation of a transmission media which is used to transfer the data from a transmitter to the receiver. And the transmission media can be a wired media or a wireless media. Therefore, it is shown as a cable or a air. So the classification of a transmission media, the transmission media is broadly classified into two categories. First one is a guided media or a wired media. Second one is an unguided or a wireless media. Under guided media, we are having a three categories. First one is your twisted pair cable. Second one is your coaxial cable. And third one is an optical fiber cable. And in unguided wireless media, we are using the free space to transfer the data. So before starting with the actual discussion, we'll just focus on one point, that is the design factor. Design factor for designing the media or the designing the transmission medium. So these all are the parameters which are very important before designing the transmission media. First one is the bandwidth. Higher bandwidth gives the higher data rate. So we have to concern about the bandwidth before deciding the media. Second one is the transmission impairments. Transmission impairments are the impairments which occurs while transferring the data from transmitter to receiver. So there are various types of transmission impairments like attenuation, interference and all those things. The next parameter is number of receivers in a guided media. More receivers introduce more attenuation. Next, the geographic coverage, the area over which we need area which we need to cover is one of the design factor which we have to take into consideration before selecting the transmission media. And last one is the security and the cost. So based on all these parameters, we are deciding or we are designing our transmission media. So first type of transmission media which comes under the guided is twisted pair cable. So this is a pictorial representation of a twisted pair cable. A twisted pair consists of two conductors. Basically, these two are your conductors. Basically, a copper based conductors are used with its own plastic insulation twisted together. So if you observe this pictorial representation, you will observe two wires or the two conductors which are twisted together. So therefore its name is a twisted pair cable. And this is your plastic insulations, and in between that plastic insulation we are having a conductor. So the conductor is coated with the plastic insulations which are twisted together. So therefore its name is a twisted pair cable. This plastic is used as an insulator. So the description of a twisted pair cable, it provides protection against the crosstalk or the interference. One wire can carry signals to the receiver. Second wire used as a ground interference. For twisting, after receiving the signal remains the same. Therefore the number of twists per length determines the quality of the signal. So as the number of twists increases, the quality of signal also increases. Okay, and one more thing is the number of twists is responsible for the electromagnetic interference. So as you take more number of twists, the electromagnetic interference becomes less. So here the diagram of a twisted pair cable is shown to you. So this is the first twisted pair cable, second, third and the fourth, and they all are grouped together under one cable. So this is a representation of a twisted pair cables. Advantages of using twisted pair cable: they are cheap, easy to work with. Disadvantages: low data rate and the shorter range. Applications where we are using a twisted pair cable: very common medium, can be used in the telephone network connection within a building or for a LAN connection. So for all these connections we are using a twisted pair cable. Now we are having two types of twisted pair cable. First one is a unshielded twisted pair cable and second one is a shielded twisted pair cable. Unshielded twisted pair cable. So here the pair of unshielded wires wound around each other, easy to install. So this one is your unshielded twisted pair cable, where the twisted pair cables are not covered with a shield. Therefore, it is called as a UTP or a unshielded twisted pair cable. So, what is the application of using this? This is used in the telephone subscriber connection to the central office point connection, DSL lines, LAN connections. We are using unshielded twisted pair. Advantages of UTP: it is affordable, most compatible cabling, and the major networking systems are the advantages of using unshielded twisted pair cable. Disadvantage of using UTPs: suffers from external electromagnetic interference, as here extra shield is not provided. So this all are the advantages, disadvantages, and the applications of using unshielded twisted pair cable. Next one is the shielded twisted pair cable. Pair of wires wound around each other placed inside a protective foil wrap. So here the twisted pairs are coated with one foil which provides an extra protection and avoids the electromagnetic interference. Therefore, it is called as a shielded twisted pair cable. So if you take an actual picture, so you'll observe this is your twisted pair cable, and over above a shield is given. So that is your shielded twisted pair cable. Metal harder to handle. This is a thick and heavy cable which is STP. Advantages of using STPs: it is a shielded, faster than UTP is a basic advantage of using STP. Disadvantages: more expensive than UTP. High attenuation rates are the disadvantages. Application: STP are used in the IBM token ring networks. We are using STPs. Higher transmission rates over a longer distance. So as per the application, we will select to go with STP or to with the UTP. Next one is a coaxial cable. Coaxial cable carries signal of higher frequency ranges than the twisted pair cable. This is a coaxial cable. Inner conductor is a solid wire. Outer conductor serve as a shield against the noise and a second conductor. So if you observe the waveform, if you observe the pictorial representation, this one is your inner conductor. Inner conductor is coated with an insulator, and above that is your outer conductor, which is a shield, and above that is also one insulator coating is there, and this all arrangement is embodied into a plastic cover. So this is the internal representation of a coaxial cable. It is having the inner conductor, outer conductor, they both are coated with the insulator, and this all arrangements are kept inside a plastic cover. So this is the actual representation of a coaxial cable. So this is your outer jacket, in between is your shield, and above after that is your foil sheet. Then you are having a center dielectric material is there, and in between is your actual center conductor which carries the signal. In the coaxial application, most wide versatile medium television distributions. If you observed in your television, the cable signal is carried through the coaxial cable only. It is used for the long distance telephone transmission, can carry 10,000 voice signals simultaneously. Short distance computer system links, local area network is the applications of using a coaxial cable. Advantages of using coaxial cable is easy to wire, easy to expand, moderate level of electromagnetic interference. Disadvantages of coaxial cable: single cable failure can take down an entire network. If there is a failure in one cable, the complete network will go into a failure. Cost of installation of a coaxial cable is high due to its thickness and stiffness. Cost of maintenance is also high. Next type of cable is an optical fiber cable. A fiber optic cable is made up of a glass or a plastic and transmits signals in a form of a light. Light travels in a straight line. If light goes from one substance to another, then the ray of incidence changes direction. Ray of incidence changes direction when goes from more dense to the less dense substance. So this is a principle. This is a working principle of using an optical fiber cable. So here we are just playing with the property of a light. So we're just having three pictures over here. So first thing is, what is angle of incidence? The angle the ray makes with the line perpendicular to the interference between the two substances is called as an angle of incidence. So this is your angle of incidence. Okay. Then if your light travel from more dense to the less dense material, it will reflect. So this line is called as a angle of reflection. Now second thing is, one more important principle of light is what? That is a critical angle. The angle of incidence which provides an angle of refraction of 90 degree. Now here what is happening? With respect to the angle of incidence, there is a change in an angle of a refraction. So at a particular value of an angle of incidence, just take an example over here. For this particular value of angle of incidence, your angle of refraction becomes is equals to 90 degree. Means this. Now if you further increase the angle of incidence, the angle of refraction is also increased, and if it will increase, the angle or the light will come back to its actual medium. So this is the principle which is used in a working of an optical fiber cable. So that is your critical angle. So first we have to find out the critical angle. The critical angle is an angle at which the incidence angle provides an angle of refraction of 90 degree. Means your angle of refraction is a 90 degree. Further, if you increase the angle of incidence, if my angle of incidence increases in this case, the angle of refraction is such that it will come back into the same medium. So this is a working principle of using an optical fiber cable. Now this is a representation of optical fiber cable. It uses reflection to guide light through a channel. Here it is divided into two sections. First section is your core section, or the inner section is your core section, and it is surrounded by the cladding section. Cladding is a lens dense glass or a plastic. An optical fiber cable has a cylindrical shape, and it consists of three concentric sections. The core section, this is a core section, then you are having a cladding section, and above that is your jacket. This is an actual representation. The outer jacket is there, in between is your core section, in between is your cladding section, and in between is your core section. So this is a representation of an optical fiber cable. And here, as per the choice of a critical angle, this is your angle of incidence. If my critical angle or the angle of incidence is selected in such a way that it will reflected back into the core only, so therefore the signal will move in core section only, and the signal is transferred in this case is in format of a light. The application of an optical fiber cable for telecommunication, local area networks, cable TV, CCTV, medical education. So for this all applications we are using an optical fiber cables. Advantages of optical fiber cables are the great capacity. Example, data rate of 100 gigabytes is a data rate of using optical fiber cables. Smaller size and lightweight. Lower attenuation, electromagnetic isolations. More resistance to corrosive materials. Greater repeater space facility. Example, after every 10 seconds of kilometer at least. Optical fibers are again having some disadvantages. Installation and maintenance need expenses. Only unidirectional light propagations are there and much more expensive. Optical fibers are costly among the three cables which we have studied. And the propagation mode, when the signal goes from points to another, one point to another, there are need of propagation mode. So in optical fibers we are having two types of propagation mode. First one is a multi-mode and a single mode. Multi-mode where we are transferring only one signal, and single mode when we are transferring only one signal. Multi-mode we are transferring multiple signals through one set of optical fiber. In multi-mode we are having again two types, step index and the graded index. So here the representation is shown. First one is your multi-mode step index. So in multi-mode step index, the signal is transferred in format of this. Means the signal are making, or the signals are making, they are transferred in the format of a zigzag. This is your multi-mode step index. Second one is a graded index, where the signal is transferred in a smooth curve. And last one is a single mode, when the signal is transferred in a straight line, is your single mode, where we are transferring only one signal. So this all are the transmission characteristics of a guided medium. First one is a twisted pair, then the twisted pair, multi-pair cables, coaxial cable and the optical fiber, and then the frequency range, typical attenuation, typical delay and the repeater spacing. Now for twisted pair cable with loading, the frequency range is from 0 to 3.5 kilohertz. Its typical attenuation is 0.2 dB per kilometer at 1 kilohertz. Its typical delay is 50 microseconds per kilometer. Repeater spacing is a 2 kilometer. Then the twisted pair, multi-pair cables. So the frequency range is 0 to 1 megahertz. Its typical attenuation is 0.7 dB per kilometer at 1 kilohertz. Typical delay is 5 microseconds per kilometer, and repeater spacing is after every 2 kilometer. Coaxial cable, the frequency range is 0 to 500 megahertz. Its typical attenuation is 7 dB per kilometer at 10 megahertz. Its delay is 4 microseconds per kilometer, and the repeater spacing is after 1 to 9 kilometer. And last one is the optical fibers. Its frequency range is from 186 to 370 terahertz. Its attenuation is 0.2 to 0.5 dB per kilometer. Its typical delay is 5 microseconds per kilometer, and its repeater spacing is after every 40 kilometers. So from this table what we come to know, as we move from twisted pair cable to the optical fiber, the range of frequency increases and the need of repeater will also increases. In case of optical fiber, we are using repeaters after 40 kilometers, and that in case of a twisted pair cable is only after 2 kilometers. Then next point is about unguided media or a wireless medium. So unguided media transports electromagnetic wave without using a physical conductor. It is known as a wireless communication. Signals broadcast through the free space and available to capable receivers. So here is a representation of the electromagnetic spectrum of a wireless communication. First one is the radio wave and a microwave. Second one is the infrared. So the range of radio wave and microwave is from 3 kilohertz to the 300 gigahertz, and for infrared is from 300 gigahertz to the 400 terahertz. So again, in case of wireless media, propagation medium method is also very important. So the unguided signals travel from source to the destination in several ways. This is known as a propagation. So there are three types of propagation method: ground propagation, sky propagation, and line of sight propagation. Now we are going to study this all propagation in detail. Next, ground propagation. So this is a representation of a ground propagation. Here the radio wave travels through the lowest portion of the atmosphere, touching the earth. So here the signal is transferred over the signal which we are transferring is travel through the lower portion of the atmosphere. Here the signal propagation is shown. Here this is your transmitter antenna, and this one is your receiver antenna. It is used for the frequency which is below 2 megahertz. Second one is the sky propagation. The radio wave radiated through the ionosphere, then it reflected back to the earth. So here the representation is shown. Here the transmitter antenna, the signal is transmitted through ionosphere, it reflected back to the earth, again from earth it will transmitted reflected. In this way the signal is received at the receiver. The sky wave propagation is used for the frequency in between 2 to 30 megahertz. And last type of propagation is a line of sight, in straight line directly from an antenna to antenna, where the signal is transferred in a line of sight, means in a single line is a line of sight antenna. And the line of sight propagation is used for the frequency above 30 megahertz. Now types of the unguided media. So we are having three types of unguided media. First one is your radio wave, microwave, and infrared. So first we go with the radio wave. Omnidirectional antennas, the frequency range of the radio waves are from 3 kilohertz to the 1 gigahertz, used for multicast multi-wave communication such as a radio and a television and a paging system. Radio waves can penetrate building easily, so that widely used for indoor and the outdoor communications. These are the antennas which we are using. An antenna is a structure that is generally a metallic object, may be a wire or group of wires used to convert high frequency current into the electromagnetic waves. So antennas are of two types: transmitting antenna and reception antenna. Transmission antenna transmits radio frequency from transmitter. Radio frequency then converted to electromagnetic energy by the antenna, then radiates into the surrounding environment. Then the reception antenna, electromagnetic energy gets in antenna, then antenna converts the radio frequency to the electrical energy, then goes to the receiver. Same antenna can be used for both purpose. Next type of unguided media is a microwave. So microwaves are ideal when large area need to be covered and there are no obstacles in the path. So for that we are using a microwave. So the microwave signals are generally transferred with a line of sight propagations, and the ground reflects its path. So here if any obstacle comes, it will reflect the path of the microwave. So therefore the line of sight propagations is very important in case of a microwave communication. So for microwave transmission, microwaves are unidirectional microwave electromagnetic waves having a frequency between 1 GHz to 300 GHz. There are two types of microwaves data communication system, terrestrial and a satellite. Microwaves are widely used for one-to-one communication between sender and the receiver, example cellular phone, satellites network, and in wireless LANs. So first type of microwave, it is a terrestrial microwave used for a long haul communication and a short point to point links, requires fewer repeaters but line of sight. So here we are using repeaters which are present with the line of sight propagation medium. Used a parabolic dish to focus a narrow beam onto the receiver antenna. 4 to 6 GHz band of communication is used. Higher frequency given higher data rates. Main source of loss of is the main source which is present. The main source of loss in case of terrestrial microwave is attenuation, distance, rainfall, and also interference. Next type of microwave communication is a satellite microwave communication. So here satellite is a relay station, receives on one frequency amplifiers or repeater signals and transmit on another frequency. Here we are having two frequencies, uplink and a downlink frequency. Uplink frequency is given by 5.925 to 6.425 GHz and the downlink frequency is given as 3.7 to 4.2 GHz frequency. Typically requires geostationary orbits, height of 35,784 kilometers, spaced at least 3 to 4 degrees apart. They are typically used in television, long distance telephones, private business network, and a global positioning. So here is a representation of a satellite microwave. So we are having two types of satellite communication, point to point and a broadcast. So this is your first station, that is your earth station and transmitter station, and this one is a receiver station. So from the transmitter station, the signal is uplink to the satellite, and from that satellite it will downlink to the receiver. So this type of communication is a point to point link where the transmitter transmit the signal and the receiver only receive the signals. So this is a point to point link. Second type of link is a broadcasting link. So in broadcasting link we are having one transmitter and multiple receiver. So this is your transmitter which will transfer the signal with the uplink frequency, and from the satellite there are multiple receivers which are receiving the signals. So these satellite broadcast links are mainly used in the television broadcasting, where the signal from one point is generated and transmitted to the antenna, and the same signal is received at the receivers located at the different locations of the world. Thank you for listening.